Welcome back to Pav's Workshop. My name is Ilya and today I'd like to talk to you about shop chemicals. And this is the stuff that I just cannot imagine running my shop without. There are, and I do have a lot more, but this is just the basic stuff that I think everybody should have in their shop. And I'd like to share my knowledge, my experience with you guys. So let's start with an absolute must, and it is going to be a all-purpose cleaner. It can be any all-purpose cleaner. I just buy the cheapest one. This stuff is not toxic and is good for cleaning pretty much everything you can imagine. Last time I've used it, I was just cleaning some of my work surfaces. Well, the name says it all. It's an all-purpose cleaner. Must have. You cannot underestimate of importance of having acetone in your shop. A can like this lasts about a year. I use it mostly to clean and prepare the metal for welding. This stuff evaporates pretty much instantly. Once you put it on the surface, it just evaporates. And after that, it's pretty safe to weld. Some other cleaning solutions that you may want to use to clean your metal before welding may not be as good of an option, because once you start welding, it's going to off-gas a lot of nasty stuff and you're gonna breathe it all in. But acetone, it just evaporates and you're good to go. So yes, acetone. I'm gonna split it in categories. The cleaning will be first. And the next one is going to be an adhesive remover. You know those nasty shop labels that you cannot just easily remove and they leave a lot of residue? This stuff comes in handy and it just cleans it right off. Good stuff. I've recently discovered this stuff. It's a grease off, basically a degreaser, but in a spray can. I bought this one in a automotive paint shop. It works so well for just removing grease or dirt from metal surfaces, and not only metal. It dries in about a minute and you can paint over this stuff and it doesn't ruin the paint. I advise you to get some of this and you will thank me later. Now let's talk about lubrication, and I think I have one thing missing here. And it's going to be just your regular thick grease. The king of all kings, WD-40. I don't have to tell anything about this, WD-40. And this stuff is pretty awesome. It's a cutting oil in a spray. Imagine that's the part you're working on and you're gonna cut a thread here. And what this stuff does when you spray it, it forms like this foam bubble that just stays on top of the hole and it just doesn't droop inside. Helps a lot for drilling and cutting threads. The next one would be just your mineral oil. And mineral oil, it's not as thick as this black grease, and I would just call it a general purpose lubricator. Another important thing to have is a rust converter to convert your rusty metal into a shiny, or not so much, metal. Yeah. This stuff is pretty cool too. I recently found it and it's a epoxy filler primer. It's very thick and it's got very good feeling capabilities, feeling like lighter scratches and some textured surfaces, and also it is sandable. So this stuff I would definitely put in my chemical kit. Pretty awesome stuff. And together with it I would put a universal body filler. What I have here is the cheapest stuff, but it works really good for everything. Wood, plastic, metal, just mix two parts together. It stinks like crazy. You have to do it in a well-ventilated area. It dries in about like 10-20 minutes and it's good to be sanded. So this stuff is pretty cool too. And the last category of chemicals would be glues. The glue that I use the most is your regular PVA glue. You can have your all like fancy Tide Bond glues, but just your regular PVA glue works just as well. For gluing wood and paper, this is the best option you can find. So next up would be your universal contact glue. It's great for rubber and flexible materials. Next up would be a spray adhesive. I use this one to glue sandpaper on my disc sander for upholstery and stuff like that. This stuff is pretty universal. And my favorite one would be a CA glue together with an accelerator. I don't know, is it just me or the accelerator makes the CA glue not as strong as it would be if it would dry by itself? This stuff is used probably in all of the projects that I do these days. And so I think this is going to conclude my little chemical guide. Again, there is a lot more stuff that I'm not covering, but I feel like these are the must-haves, and yeah, I just cannot imagine functioning in a shop without this stuff. Thank you for watching this video. Again, this kind of a video might not be for everyone, but if I would see something like that, maybe like 5-10 years ago, I would be pretty stoked to learn some new stuff. Thanks again, and I'll see you pretty soon, I suppose. Bye!